It's easy for us to get burned out, especially after dealing with everything that we deal with on a daily basis. So how do we remember our
Period. There's a reason that we come into these classrooms and they're looking at us as guidance. This might be the only person that's asked them all week how they are doing. And it has nothing to do with the classroom.
Also, to couple that on top of to restore it by continuing to making sure that we are at our best self. Because if we're at an empty cup, we can't be our best self.
What's really happening? I'm A. Harris Brown. We are here live and on location at the Profound Gentleman, and you are watching the HBCU Man Cave, where men come to relate, relax, and relieve. Now, this is a safe space where we can have a great conversation about many things. But before we even get started, let me go shout out my Man Cave co-host for today, Shane and Kevin.
What's up?
What's going on?
Now, Shane, typical, we're in the studio, I always ask the question, what's in your cup?
Well, you know, I got a little Henny and a little,
Oh, you do have something in your cup?
I do have something in my cup. We're not changing it. We're not changing it.
We're not changing it because we're live. We're on location.
We on location. I'm still sipping.
So ladies and gentlemen, listen, to all the watching us online and for all the brothers who are in the room, listen, Shane is all the way from Seattle, Washington.
Yes, I am here.
Wow, so that was like a 5-hour flight?
6.
Okay, my bad. 6?
Yeah, it's okay, that's fine.
And you still think it's, what, 3 in the morning right now?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get up at this point.
Okay, good luck with that. Also, Shane, shout out to HBCU. Let them know where you're from.
Well, my HBCU is Virginia University of Lynchburg, located up in Lynchburg, Virginia. That's all the way up in the boondocks up there. It's one of the oldest HBCUs in Virginia.
And I always keep asking the question, we got to talk about and unpack Lynchburg.
Here you go, y'all. Here you go.
Nonetheless, y'all talking about Kevin Keys the third.
What's up, y'all? What's up? How y'all doing?
So Kevin, know where you're from?
I'm from the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, that's what you got to know. 313. Yeah.
Okay, all right. 313. All right. Shout out to HBCU.
Well, I have a trifecta of HBCUs. My first degree from Miles College. I have a bachelor's in political science. My master's come from the real TSU, Texas Southern University. And then my doctorate is from Virginia University of Lynchburg. And then I got a couple of certifications from Barber Scotia College right up the street. So, you know.
Oh, you just busy. You got student loans for days.
No. We're all about scholarships.
Oh, okay then. All right. Okay, come on for the scholarships.
We love UNCF and AACP.
So you just decided to show me up with all the degrees.
Ooh. He did.
Don't do that.
Hey, listen here.
I got something myself. Don't do that.
All right, for those who are watching us for the very first time, again, I'm A. Harris Brown. Listen, I went to undergrad at Bethune-Cookman University, located in the home of the world's most famous beach, Daytona Beach, Florida. Yeah, I know you wanted to be there. Listen, all I can say is, Uncle Luke already told us we watched Freakney. There's some more videos coming. I'm pleading the fifth. I was alleged to have been at Black College reunion.
Allegedly.
That's all I'm gonna say. But I did see my car in that Freakney documentary.
Let me find out.
I'm gonna do a deep search later.
It was going down Peachtree. I saw my car. Allegedly, a car that looked like mine. But right now, I'm actually in graduate school. I attend the Clark Atlanta University. Find a way or make one. Okay, somebody. I'm part of a program called the New Leaders. Matter of fact, let's just go and do the machine plug right now. So, New Leaders is one of the programs, the organization that was a sponsor for this Community Impact Assembly Conference here in Charlotte, and they're all about helping educators get either teacher certified or administrative certified. And listen, so now I'm not gonna say it's free. It's scholarship. Now, can somebody say scholarship in the room?
Scholarship.
Come on, somebody, it's a scholarship. I started in August of 2024. I'm in my last 2 classes here in, right now, March 2025, right? I'll be done in May.
Come on, clap it up for that. Come on.
Yeah, we're done. So,
Administrators, come on.
okay,
Yeah.
so we're moving to the next level. For those who, but don't get me wrong, I love the kids. Love the kids. Shout out to anybody. For those who were in the room, if you went to an HBCU, make some noise. Yeah. Love it. All right. So anyway, listen, fellas.
Yes, sir.
What are we talking about today?
So we are talking about navigating social and emotional capacity as male educators of color, and that is a real tough topic because, when I tell you I was thrown in my first year of teaching, and it was like no guidance, no nothing. I'm sure a lot of y'all have them same stories. They just throw us in the wolves, and there's no textbook that can teach us what about like how to handle the classroom. Either you got it or you don't. It's the matter of that.
And then, and more so, we gonna also get thrown into the disciplinary role.
And that Joe Clark that Dr. Jolly was talking about, that Joe Clark mentality.
All right. So listen, so the first thing we want to do is we're doing welcome, and we did that welcome to everybody know. So we want to do an icebreaker. I'm like, actually, one of us is going to come down to the audience. We'd love to get some feedback from our audience participants. We got profound gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, who are watching us online from all over the country. I mean, I'm gonna see if I can name some of them. I got Oklahoma, I got New York, I got DC, I got New Jersey, we got Georgia. Let's see who else. We got Florida. I even got Ohio. And again, y'all could have made some noise if I shouted out your
I was gonna say I want to make some noise with y'all cities. It's still early. That's what it
Listen,
is.
I understand that usually we normally do this on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, but now we got a live audience. So again, you all can talk back with us. Talk with us. The more we talk, the better we sound. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I used to be able to. I used to say the more you drink, the better we sing when I used to do karaoke.
Oh,
That's also applies to me.
Side note, shout out to, where did we go? We went to Taylor Smoke.
Yeah, we went to Taylor
We went to Taylor Smoke
Yep.
and did a show there. And then we went to right across the walk and we did to the Red Eye Diner.
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah, so then we go into other places, we on location. So now, Icebreaker, gentlemen, what fills your cup? Come on, somebody. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Let me go. Anybody want to go in the audience?
I can go in the audience.
Awesome. So, we'll walk around the room real quick. I want to find out what fills your cup. Now, again, we can be talking personal or professional. Something that's near and dear, or something like that. I don't know. Maybe this is something I want to do and I haven't got there yet. Shane, I see some hands in the back. Oh, you got one. Come on, we got JD from North Carolina.
That's right, good up. How y'all doing today?
Doing good.
One of the things that fills my cup is like being in this space like this and seeing everything black. In this climate and in this day and age, no other things concern my life. They're not relevant either, but for me to see all these beautiful black faces, brotherhood, companion, and communities, it's like overflows my cup.
He said overflow. Can I just want to be I just want to just be the salsa. I just want to be the salsa, brother. Come on, I want to be the salsa. All right, anybody else? I know I saw some hands in the back. These characters right here, y'all. Oh my God. This one.
How y'all doing? One of the biggest things that fills my cup is just being with brothers who constantly speak of their appreciation for everything that's going on, appreciation for your accomplishments, appreciation for knowledge and all those kind of things, but constantly just being able to learn from them and take those gems has been an amazing opportunity.
All right, let's get one more.
You will never find.
Hey, all right. y'all show y'all. I got the wrong one. Just saying.
You don't want him to sing. I can tell you that right now.
Let it go. All right.
Let it go.
Hey, no. But real talk, it's been an amazing weekend. The thing that fills my cup, honestly, is although we here together, all the brothers, we got a little, you could say, fraternity as far as this group of friends that we are. This brother right here, this brother right here, this brother, this brother. We all started at CFSD working with each other. A lot of us have left.
A lot.
Yeah. But it's good that we get to come back with each other at least 1-2 times a year. Brown, same with you. That's one of my mentors. People don't know that. He was my high school drama teacher. Yeah. But it's two different Browns. Big Brown was my drama teacher. Little Brown up there. It's like a quarter of a Brown up there. But yeah, so just to get this weekend to see these guys and us to be together at least once or twice a year, because at least we used to do our dean's meetings back in the day once a month. And we got to see him, but now, I don't get to see him. He over at Warrensville, he over at Breakthrough and all that. Hey, we just ain't together no more. It's good to be together. So that's what fills my cup, getting to spend time with my brothers, you know what I'm saying?
I love it. Now again, also, show some love.
Can I say something real quick, Anthony?
Yes, Shay.
Because you told me I need to wrap it up before So what fills my cup? This is my first time here. First very time. And thanks to you, I'm here. And thanks to the profound gentleman, I am here. So yesterday, I was in the room. And I just sat down and I saw all the brothers in the room. And I couldn't think but what a beautiful sight to see black men, educators, sitting under one roof, just enjoying each other's company. And where I'm from, you don't see black people coming together. You don't see these types of events put together. And that just overfills my cup. It really did. And I gotta give a shout out to you, of course, and to, the profound gentleman.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate it so very much. Again, I think the biggest thing about all of this for you all to be here today is about relationship. Oh my God, we can say that, but it may sound cliche, but it's really about relationship, whether we're trying to connect with our administrators, our teachers, our parents, even our scholars. It's all about that relationship. I mean, and Thomas, you heard him say earlier, so back then, that bunch back there, see, I got my fraternity brother, right? Then I have my student. Hold on, wait, y'all ain't ready for this one. I got one of my students' her baby daddy. Yeah. But but he's been family ever since. We've been going back. I've been knowing him for a long time. And then relationship. Even though I may be an administrator, working with him in Cleveland Metropolitan School District, he is also my covering because he's my pastor. So again, you never know who you may come across and connect with to build a relationship again. So why does this matter about filling our cups and being educated? Again, you can see some of the facts on the screen talking about unique social, emotional challenges because we go through some of the same things. So to see all of us in this same space, no matter where we come from, and the BS, I'm trying to keep it clean because of, y'all, we don't even really keep it that clean on the show at night, but it's the daytime hours. I can go to Dr. Miller right here because as an administrator,
yes, sir.
I know what you go through on a daily basis, good, bad, or indifferent, but to be able to be in a room of like-minded individuals, right? And our social emotion, I'm talking about ours as the adults. If we're not right, how are we gonna help get the kids get right? So we gotta go get this professional help when we need to. I won't be telling you. Listen, I tell people all the time, I take 3 happy pills a day.
Yes, you do.
Let me miss one. I'm like the kid when they would come back from spring break, and they was at their father's house all week. It's like, you ain't took your meds this week, did you? That's me.
Listen, I would just say, when it comes to fill up your cup, it's very important because when you're constantly pouring into you constantly keep giving, and then you look up and you say, well, who's giving to me? You look up, sometimes you don't have an administration that's gonna back you up. You know, I was put in a class my first year, I'm talking about first year teaching, mind you, my first degree is in political science, so it was not in education. I did not get my education degree until my master's. I was put into a class that had over 7 IEPs in one classroom. Mind you, my contract states that I can only have no more than 2 before they start paying me more. They threw me in a class with 7 IEPs and they wanted me to drown. I received 136% academic growth on all diagnostic tests and state standardized tests across the board. Literally, like, and like my principal asked me, well, how did you do it? Because at first she thought I was just around there just picking the questions for all the kids and cheating. She said, well, did you do it with fidelity? I said, well, why did you assume that? No, I didn't. Oh, well, we've never seen that with that type of makeup of kids. Oh, because you don't see the full child. I'm seeing the whole child. I'm not just seeing the child academically. I'm not just saying, oh, that there's an IEP or I'm looking at the full child and I'm seeing that we need to listen first. We need to see what they got going on. They're more receptive to learning when they know that we care about what they got going on at home. And once I was able to do that, I mean, it was a lot of trauma dumping that happened within that. So then it had to give me a chance to go and get a mental health professional so I can go talk. I will always tell people, when you pile everybody's bricks onto you, and then you still got your own bricks, now you got a heavy shoulder, but where are you unloading those bricks? And as black men, we've always told to be strong, don't cry, keep your shoulders up, keep your head up, don't talk about your problems, don't let anybody, and yet we always slip and we fall into this depression, we fall into this impostor syndrome, we fall into this, I'm not worthy anymore, or I'm burnt out, and we're seeing black male educators and just educators as a whole experiencing May burnout in December. It's to the point in December. Now they're like, oh, I'm ready, man, this school year already, I can't do this no more. And it's simply because we're not feeling supported, we're not prioritizing our mental, we're not putting us first, we're getting up every day and we're prioritizing kids and everybody else and what the administration wants us to do, and they add more and more unbearable tasks each day.
So I got a question for you.
Talk to me.
When was the last time you used your PTO?
Yesterday. Oh, I'm quick to go ahead and prepare the others, okay? Go on.
Come on, how many else you prepare the others? You got it. Use it. Because they're not giving it back.
No.
They giving it back.
Think about this, y'all. Knock on wood. Listen, you die today. You ain't gonna be able to take that PTO with you. They not gonna give it to your family, and this job don't care about you as much as you think. I will tell you that in Wells Fargo, it was a lady who sat in her cubicle for over 2 days dead because nobody went to go check on her because they didn't see her clock in and they did not care. That is how the job force is. Prepare the others. Put yourself first. Take a mental health break. There's no shame in taking a mental health day. Sometimes you just need to go home.
So I got a question for the audience here. And those who watch, you guys, hey, are we on Instagram today? What's up, Instagram? How y'all doing? Listen, make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe, and share Historically Black Sense. And for more information about what we do, how we do, what we do, go to our website at hbcusense.com. All right, in the room. Who has been from a place of thriving? Well, let me take it back. I'm going to go in reverse. How many of you all have stopped surviving and now you're thriving? Come on, somebody.
That's a good amount of hands there.
Okay, good. That means you've been through something. There was a time when you was like, listen, I'm just getting up in the morning. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it today. And I'm ready to throw in the towel. Here's some key points if you have not moved to that thriving space in your life. Psychological safety. Find you somebody to talk to. Find you somebody to talk to. I always talk about there's 3 different types of men in your life. You know, there's the Paul. That's your counterpart, right? No, take it back. Barnabas. Barnabas is my elder. Pastor help me because I was in Bible today. I know I heard this. See, I told you I got my cover in the room. Barnabas, somebody older than you, somebody you can confide in.
Right.
Somebody you can seek counsel from. Let me bounce this off of you. You know, you've been here, you've been around the block, brother. You've been in this classroom for a long time. Help me. Then find you the next person. That's my Paul, my counterpart. somebody who I can talk to, somebody who understands the day-to-day, to help me along. If I can help somebody, that's my Paul. I'm gonna go to. We're gonna chat about it. Because he understands, because even though I'm at Constellation School and you at Reynoldsburg, or you after school program at Milwaukee, or you someplace in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you understand what I just went through today. The third, oh my God, help me, Pastor. The third, Barnabas, Paul, the one you're pouring into. I did. Oh my God, I'm going blank. It's gonna come to me. It's in the book though. I wrote the book. But the third brother, I need you to find somebody who you can pour into. While you're being poured into, who is there? Timothy, thank you, Reverend. Timothy, who is catching the residual? So as you get the blessing, as JD talked about now, my cup runneth over. Who is your Timothy that you're pouring into to catch that, to help him, to bless him along the way? I don't mean to make this churchy, but I want to kind of make sure. Find your community. That's your community. You're Barnabas, you're Paul, you're Timothy. That's your community. Find your work-life balance. Yeah. Anybody do some self-care since they've been in Charlotte? Come on, tell the truth, shame the devil. Come on, come on. Well, you did something. You had to, when you went out last night, you went and bought you something to eat. You went to, I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there.
LOL. I got another point, and before I forget it, because y'all know I forget things.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to simply again, take off of work and just say I'm done. And just give yourself a couple of days off, because honestly, again, that burnout is easy to happen. And then when you take work home, and that's my point, don't take work home. We gotta learn how to stop taking work home. We all feel like, oh, I'll go take it home, I'll go grade these papers at home. Leave them papers at work, okay?
Come on, somebody get that with me.
Leave it at work. Say it one more time, leave it at work.
Leave it at work.
Leave it at work. Do not take your work home. Leave that work laptop at work. Leave them papers. It can get graded tomorrow. If it didn't get done today, that's why I love tomorrow. Gloria said that. So yeah, simple as that.
So, for those who are not in the space of thriving yet, can someone please share? Help a brother out. Let's help build community. Let's build capacity. What can a brother do to thrive? Anybody? Oh, come on. Did I see this brother with a fan t-shirt on?
Yeah, I'm from Florida.
You did?
Yeah.
You did?
You sent the wrong person your
But that's all right. That's okay, because the HBCU Man Cave, we are equal opportunity. We love all HBCUs.
All right, so I'm gonna stand up. So my name is MJ Bryant. I am an entrepreneur in education. I have a tutoring company, and we hire teachers to teach students all across the country. So if you need a job on the side, hit me up. That's my shameless plug. But to go from surviving to thriving, one thing that I learned at FAMU is that you have to plan your work and work your plan. So if you know that you have to plan your work and work your plan, right? So if you know that means that you have to stay at this school for 2 more years, or you have to work at an after-school program for 6 months to get your financial situation together, whatever it is, whatever you need to do, plan it and work it. That's it.
Cheers right there. Okay. Now he got that shameless plug on the show, y'all.
Yeah,
and
that's not sure.
he didn't pay for that advertisement. All right, anybody else want to share? Anybody want to pour into somebody? Please, anybody. Come on, that's all I got. No. Oh, come on down.
So I think about it in terms of the 19 P's of life. Excuse me, my voice is a little hoarse because this brother had me drinking last night.
Self-care.
I'm gonna put it on him. Since we're doing shameless plugs, 1 o'clock session in here, 6 o'clock educated black man in TJ's. So please pull up. Thank you. So 19 P's of life, I think about it. So if you're thinking about going from surviving to thriving, so the first one is permanence, The second one is pervasiveness, and the third one is personalization. So those are all negative self-talk. So permanence is often about time. And so that's when you're in that time or that space and you're like, I'm never gonna be good, never. Pervasiveness is about the space, like I'm never gonna be good in math. Personalization is like, I ain't shit. Like that's, excuse my language.
No!
I'm not. No, I'm working on it though, y'all. I'm a work in progress. I'm making it. So that's that. Those that negative self-talk. So it's working towards reversing that negative self-talk because we all have it. That fourth piece is procrastination because that negative self-talk makes you procrastinate and it makes you do things at a later date and try to be greater later. You got to do it now. And so then it leads into the other 12 P's. Piss poor planning produces piss poor performance, and piss poor performance produces pain. Right? And so those are now what we up to. So we up to 16 P's right there. So if you really want to start, if you do all of those things, what's going to happen is you're going to start picking your poison. And so a lot of us are picking our poison, so we got to start, and that's when you're just surviving because you're picking your poison. So to move into thriving, the last two, and then I'm gonna give you the mic back, so I apologize. But the last two is going to move over into you living in your purpose. So being in your purpose, y'all. So what is your why? What is your purpose? You got to start living in it and living in it to get to where you got to go. But the only way you're going to do that is you follow your passion. And so that's that last piece. So that purpose and passion takes over, but it takes you realizing all that other stuff so you can move into that passion and that purpose. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Come on, Dr. Miller!
Now I have a question. So often in the education system, we tend to go through so much that we forget our why. What are some ways that we can remember like our why every day? Because it's easy for us to get burned out, especially after dealing with everything that we deal with on a daily basis. So how do we remember our why?
I don't think it's remember, restore your why. Because you had a why before. It's how you restore your why.
I love it.
Questions over there?
I wanted to answer that one for you. And thank you. Good morning, Chaz and James, Rochester, New York, UPrep. One way that I do that, and I want to give this one to everyone, hopefully we can use it. One way we can always restore our why, make certain that we know our why on a daily basis, every period. I start my class with a temperature check. Doing that temperature check, what it is, and now my students know they don't let class go on right after bell, actually before bell work. We do what's called temperature check. And they give me a thumbs up, if they're feeling great, feeling good, if they neutral, don't know how they're feeling, or be honest with coach. I need to know where you're at. And if we do this every period, teach 5 periods a day, 6, 7 periods, you now are reminded every period what they're going through and knowing that we've gone through this. We've survived and we thrive through this every day. So they give me this here, I pause and I look at them. Yesterday, I saw you were here. So I see you at least have an improvement. If I see that you're giving me this 3 days in a row, I now know I gotta come up there and sit on your desk and talk to you before we're doing bell work or while we're doing bell work. Because if he's here all week and we haven't checked on him, and if we're talking about being progressive black men and gentlemen, we have to be reminded daily, every period. There's a reason that we come into these classrooms and they're looking at us as guidance. This might be the only person that's asked them all week how they are doing, and it has nothing to do with the classroom. They might have been harassed all last period. So they came into the building here. But after that last period and the physical and mental abuse that they're taking, they're now here. So every period, by doing a temperature check, we're able to be reminded we know how to thrive. We have the tools by coming to conferences like this. We are their conference. So that is a way that I think that we can do it every day in every period.
We are their conference.
You heard that right.
Oh
my God.
Chills up my spine.
You heard that.
Conference. Got some more over here.
Come on. You're going to make me walk way back there.
It was a question that you said that he helped you realign it. The question was, how can we remember our why? He said, let's change it to how can we restore our why? Technically, those are two different questions because I can't restore something that I don't know nothing about. So I think one thing is, how do we remember our why is we literally make sure that we don't forget about who we are and whose we are. so many times in our educational journey, we always thinking about the scholars. We're always thinking about the families. How can we improve the school? How we can improve test scores? But the truth is, if we're doing that on empty, we ain't going to be able to do any of it. So one of the main things that we have to do is remember how we can sustain and support ourselves in these journeys so that we can be our best self. I do understand that sometimes we love our babies and we say, we understand that you're not 100% today. So because you're not 100, guess what? You're 50, I'm going to be your other 50. But the truth is, we need somebody. So I like your little breakdowns of your biblical principles.
Yeah, come on.
You know, but I love it because the thing is, you have to have those people in the school environment that literally understand what you're talking about so that can restore your why. I am engaged, no longer having a baby mama, as Brown say. I was that person he was talking to. It's all right, that was a shot. I'm recently engaged.
We're his brother-in-law here at the conference.
I'm recently engaged now, and one of the things that I told her, I said, she's an assistant principal. I said, one thing I'm grateful for is that when I come home, we can talk about something that you know what I'm talking about. It's very different to come home every day talking to somebody that have no clue and think that you fabricate and some, hey, JoJo came to school today, grabbed his nuts and said, what you gonna do with yours? I mean, so I always say, it's good. So it's important for us to understand our why and know and remember our why by what we do every day. But then also to couple that on top of to restore it by continuing making sure that we are at our best selves. Because if we're at an empty cup, we can't be our best self. So that was all.
So my question, wait, I'm on the floor. First of all, I'm on the floor. He says, JoJo. All right, come on.
You must teach middle school or upper grades, because that's middle school for you.
No, that was a second grader.
No, that's insane.
That's insane. But I just wanted to say, to rebuttal, there's a question over here, but real quick, just to rebuttal to what you were saying about, we being on E and when we're on E, but with our community not speaking enough about mental health, how do we make sure we train ourselves in mental health while still teaching the younger generations about mental health so they can understand at a younger age? Because I know that me personally, I didn't really focus on mental health until I got into college, because I was, I grew up was told, oh, it's always something wrong with you, or, oh yeah, don't stress about it, you a man, keep your head up, don't cry about it. But the whole time, I'm stressed, I'm depressed, it's a lot going on, and yet, y'all telling me don't talk to nobody, don't let nobody know what's going on in this household, and now that's causing a type of thing where, oh, we can't talk about our feelings, we can't talk about our emotions. So how do we remind ourselves about mental health while still teaching mental health to our children?
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the mic back out so we can make sure the audio can hear that. And I love the fact you're talking about how do we take care of our mental health, because I'm gonna go through something that Dr. Miller just said. He said, listen, you're like, I'm full of shit. I ain't shit. But I'm like, listen, that's gonna be chapter 6 in my book, that we all full of shit. Amen. And we gotta get it out. And I mean mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all that. It's coming. The book is coming, I'm telling you. So
Make sure I get a free copy, because it's like that. Leave me alone, y'all. All right, JoJo. Anyway, I probably was JoJo. But no, just to piggyback, really, like on everything, how it ties in. I think one thing we don't do enough of, and I think this will help you as far as one, understanding why, and then going from surviving to thriving, is set boundaries as an educator in your building. Because we all come into every building with the Superman complex. Like, oh, throw the world on my shoulders, I can handle this, I got you. Hey, you need me to do that? I'm gonna do that. All right, I got this, I got that. And at the end of the day, you go home, man, what I have to do today. But you ain't gotta fix every problem, and you ain't gotta be Superman for everybody. At the end of the day, you like Ron said, you gotta take care of you too. But that starts with setting boundaries. Sometimes you gotta say no, and it's okay to say no. We gotta get used to that. Sometimes it's like, hey, I can't handle that today, sweetheart, but get back at me. We'll talk about it later on down this week. But be able to set boundaries, because that would help you as far as
making sure your glass is filled and your cup is full. How we doing? I like that watch too, brother.
The what? He's all about that outside.
Okay.
The vendor, right here, the African vendor, we three kings.
Okay.
He got the watch. I like that. I like what you're saying. Come on. It's good. Your boundaries.
Yeah, I said your boundaries.
Hello. Yeah, Christopher Ackenboy, Washington, D.C.
So, good for the live.
They need it for the car.
Testing. All right. So, for me, it's about, so we always, a lot of times we talk about triggers, right? Oh, you trigger me off. Kids when they say, you throwing me off, da 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 da. So, the trigger, positive triggers that put you on, that put you in alignment, having that daily. So the thing is, the only time I really know about my day is when I get up and I get into my car. That's it. That's all. As an ISS coordinator, a lot of times I don't coordinate anything because they just like, oh, you got somebody for ISS today. Oh, I need you to be a behavior tech today. I need you to do da 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 da. So with that, finding that positive trigger, having something like, for me, I had this miniature mirror. I think I created it, I did it the last CIA, and I wrote a message on it. So I look at that, and it tells me, it reminds me of my why. It triggers my why. So that's the one thing that I do have control over. Find something that triggers you positively, that keeps you, that constantly reminds you of like, why am I still doing this? Now, what he said, sometimes it changes. Sometimes it changes. So if it changes, renew your trigger. Change the trigger around. Like, okay, this isn't why I'm doing this anymore. So that's it.
You know, I want to go back, and I heard something, and I appreciate all the comments so far. But I'm curious because Thomas is like, we don't have the S on our chest. But what happens when we think we do? When we think because sometimes we are the only man of color or the black man in the building. And they come to us for everything. Even though, you know, some of us have the capacity to be the instructional leader. Thank you, Mr. Thompson, who's a principal here in the room. But as soon as JoJo, they said, Mr. Thompson, you gotta do something about this. And this man is he's also charged with being the instructional leader, to provide that type of support for our educators and make sure they are equipped with the right resources and tools to deal with the JoJos of the world. And so sometimes you wake up with this S on your chest by default, or you always got that cape hanging in the closet. I literally have a cape hanging in my closet. No, I do have it. I have it because I just think like sometimes I'll just take a picture to remind me. Every so often I might have to put this cape on and go save the world.
Is that same one you had on live the other day?
It probably was.
Jesus.
Probably was. You know, they don't tell us what we do because again, the daytime show, this the PG show. Because if we were on the podcast and the live, I probably would have took my shirt off by now. Because I have an S on my chest. I actually wake up. I have an S on my chest because I think I'm trying to save the world. But I realize that even superheroes gotta recharge.
Yeah.
Come on.
But see, that's also. Yeah.
So that's also a flip side of coin, because it's like, how do you adjust to dealing with imposter syndrome inside the school? I got into a classroom when I was 20 years old, and it was like, so I was so young to the point where it was like, I didn't feel like, oh, why would they hire me? I'm not adequate enough to be a teacher. There's no way. And it's like, wait, Kevin, you got to remind yourself, you are fully qualified to do this. You are fully educated. You are fully worthy.
Because you belong there.
You belong there. But how do you keep from getting into that spot, especially being one of the only black male educators inside of an environment, and they're telling you, like, they look at you every time you say an idea, they're like, oh, no, we don't want to give you that. We don't think that's smart, or we don't think that that's wise. And they come back and then they make it their own idea or something like that. But it's just simply like where they try to diminish how you are, or try to make you seem like you're less than or you're not smart enough. How do you combat that?
I don't know. Let's go. Let's ask about
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, my name is Jamil Daniels. I call myself a social emotional specialist.
And he's a Spider-Man fan. I don't know.
I am a super Marvel fan.
Okay.
But I wanted to go back to the question you asked about how do you keep yourself mentally ready, prepared while dealing with other students or other people that have mental issues. Well, the first thing you need to do is we need to get rid of the stigma that therapy is for the crazy people. You got to get rid of that mindset. You have to be able to go find a good therapist that you can talk to, which you can bounce that off.
A good therapist.
Yes, a good therapist. That you can bounce all of that stuff that's on you off. Because if you don't bounce it off, it's going to stay with you. On top of that, you need to find your peace. Because if you're not at peace with yourself, or who you are, or who you serve, or what you do, then you can't pass that peace on to somebody else that's going through trauma.
Okay, but the Bible says something. Ain't somewhere in the Bible it says peace will pass off. I don't know. It's in the Bible. In the that chapter, that one chapter.
Pastor, get your boy. Get your boy. Please.
Pastor, come on now.
So once you're at peace with yourself, then you can give that peace on to somebody else, and you can be able to help that person that don't know who they can go to or who they can talk to. And then you'll be in the situation that I'm in all the time, where you have all the students in your room that's going through stress and trauma, and my daddy did this last night, and oh, I got kicked out. You'll be able to handle that and be able to give them wise counsel and where to lead them versus just going off of the top of your head. But you gotta get rid of the mindset of therapy is for the crazy. No, therapy is for everybody. There's a sweatshirt out. There's a sweatshirt out that say, therapy and God equals me. So you got to get rid of that, and then secondly, find your peace, and that's how you can be able to how you can handle your own mentality while working with other people that's going through mental issues.
I love it. There was a hand over here on this side of the room. That brother right there in the middle.
Yeah, he wanted to comment real quick.
Real quick about therapy. Please make sure that you are completely and totally honest with your therapist. My best friend had to tell me, I finally got a therapist that I needed. And he was like, now you know you gotta tell him everything. I'm like, but I mean, he's like, nah, you gotta tell him everything. Everything you tell me, tell him everything. Because how are you gonna go to a doctor to get something fixed or get to a place where you need to be if he don't know everything that's going on? So,
all right, thanks. I got one right here in the middle.
Yeah, 12 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
To answer that gentleman's question is, the way I do it is, you can't be scared to use your I statements every day. I am successful. I am brilliant. It helps you out. It helps you get started when you teach your kids those I statements. And I got a chance to meet the late, great Thurgood Marshall when I was younger. He put 2 quotes in my head that I say to my kids, and when you walk in my room, your situation does not dictate your destination. And not only if I can conceive it, and I truly believe, I can achieve it. So that's what I do, and them quotes like that I pass on, and that's what keeps me restored, keeps me motivated, and every time, like the gentleman said, every new class I get, I tell them, hey, it's a little shower, it's a little scream, because I'm military. When you come through this door, whatever you went through in that class, it don't come in here. We start brand new every day. And like I say, when you work with a real JoJo, you gotta stay ready.
Hey, I got one. We'll get the last comment in the back. Come on, Pastor.
You just been butchering the Bible, bro.
I know, right? But that's why they watch the show, because it's hilarious.
No, so we were talking about therapy, you know, being honest with your therapist, but also don't just be honest with your therapist, be honest with yourself. And one of the things that I've learned to decompress the Superman syndrome and the impostor syndrome is, number one, you gotta accept your limits without losing your worth. Which means, you know, you first of all, you human, you're not invincible. So
wait, Pastor, say it again because they was writing that down.
Accept your limits without losing your worth. Accept your limits without losing your worth. Once again, you are human. You are not invincible. You're a Super Marvel fan. Let's go to DC for a little bit. Hold on. Even Superman had to be Clark Kent sometimes. Which means there were sometimes he didn't feel like saving the world. He had to be normal.
All right now.
But then also, here's another thing that I had to learn as a dean. You got to shift from the thought of being perfect to realizing you're making progress.
He about to start preaching. That mic got hot. That mic just got hot. Oh yeah, he took some notes real quick. Come on, tens around. Come on, I got a rap. Come on, because he didn't start taking some notes. First of all, stop talking to me. Because he'll tell me real quick, you're doing too much, Anthony. Sit down. You can't stop talking to me. That was a rhema word. I learned that one.
So real quick, I just want to add this when we talk about SEL and we talk about social emotional learning and all of that. Listen, black men, I know y'all, we don't like decorating and stuff sometimes. Decorate your classrooms. Stop making y'all classrooms look like prisons. And then y'all wonder why the students is so stressed out when they get in there because y'all got these extra bright fluorescent lights, these white walls, and ain't nothing on them. Decorate y'all classroom. Study has shown that when you start to put light covers and LED lights around and just making it a more comfortable environment, children are more willing to learn. Children are more willing to calm down. See, my room is so willing to teach. Yeah, you're heavy on them, we're more willing to teach. And I will say, that's when I told my classroom, listen, don't come in here with all that. When you come into this room, everything outside don't matter no more. This is too much of a chilled environment, too much of a calm environment for you to come in here with all that riffraff. I don't know, fights don't happen in my classroom, none of that happen in my classroom. We too calm for that. So it's just like, decorate y'all classrooms, please. I don't know who needs to hear this.
All right, so listen real quick before because we got to get them out of here. It's been fun. Wow, first of all, thank you. That was again Pastor Lester Williams from the historic Second New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. Listen, I guarantee you got to see what your name on. You can check us live every Sunday about 11:15 a.m. on YouTube or Facebook. That was another shameless plug. And if anybody was watching us right now, want to advertise on the show, Kevin?
And if you would like to advertise on Historically Black Sense or the HBCU Man Cave, please visit info@hbcusense.com. Again, that's info@hbcusense.com. Or you can scan this QR code that will be around for the rest of the session.
All right, so anyway, so what is your next steps? Gentlemen, here we go. Let's do some quick closing thoughts. Identify one self-care practice to implement this week. I know the week is over, but if you can think about what is that one good self-care you can do every week? Whether it's getting a mani-pedi, is just a silent time to read, to reflect, go sit by the water, chill for a moment, have a cigar, whatever it is, hang out with your boys for a moment. What is that one self-care thing that you can do? I love the fact we talked about boundaries. Set personal and professional boundary. When it's time to go home, it's time to go home. When it's time to go home, go home. It will be there tomorrow. Connect with a colleague, a mentor, supporter. We talked about that, right? Practice one emotional regulation technique. So what are you going to do? What is that breathing technique? What is that thought that you need to do that mnemonic device is going to remind you? It's like, okay, I need to slow down. And I got to think about it. I got to hang this cape up. I can't do it today. And when it's time to go recharge, go in the sun and recharge. And then come on back out. Create and revisit your personal emotional toolkit, because some of the things that you were probably putting in your toolkit when you were in high school or in college is not working for you today. We grown ass men now. So some of the things that we got to deal with today, we wasn't dealing with. Some of us, we got a new stomach, because some of the things that we can eat and drink break no more. Oh, so think about what's in your toolkit emotionally, and how you deal with it differently this time around. And then finally, commit to fostering some type of thriving space in your workspace. Whether, I don't know if you've got a space in your maybe there is a planning center or some type of place where you can decompress. Maybe there's a space where, this is just a quiet moment for me to maybe, if I just need that 5 minutes, I need to close this door. Just because I know for some of you all, like I would say in my school district, some of you all may be the highest paid lunch aides in your building. Because you got to do everything, because you spend more time in the cafeteria than you are able to spend in the classroom, or spend in the community, or spend, providing capacity. We spend a lot of time in breakfast and lunch duty. And when do you get a chance to get away from that for just a moment? Because it's a lot. Been there, done that. Hey, last thing I can do before we get up out of here. On the show every week we do this. So I took this idea, I borrowed this idea from Profound Gentlemen, right? And shout out again to Profound Gentlemen for allowing us to make this event happen and to be a part of this event today. And go check out all of the rest of the workshops this afternoon. And if you are able to, I'm going to give a shameless plug, Dr. Miller, he's got the tour.
Educated Black Man Tour.
Educated Black Man Tour in CJ's this evening at 6:00 p.m. It's free. So y'all come on through. All right, so we always do what we call Habaragani. So, this is the activity that we do in Profound Gentlemen that I'm now putting into the show. We always talk about the good news. What is the good news happening in your world, in your community? So, real quick, I'm going to ask Kevin and Shane, and I'm going to ask you to talk and turn in just a moment. And while we're doing this, please don't forget to complete the survey, not just for this session, but for every session that you attended. If you complete the survey, we can have this, again, data-driven instruction administrative. And for those who, we got to have the data. So how do we improve for 2026? I have to know what you are thinking in 2025. So we need that data. So, and then for some of you all, we need the data so we can make sure we can qualify and quantify your CEU credits that you will hear this weekend. So please complete the surveys for the sessions and or the day as much as possible. You get to collect your points for all the free things. But here we go. Shane, what's happening in your world? What is your Habaragani?
Oh my God, I have two right now that I'm so excited about. Number one, I graduate in May with my doctorate in healthcare administration.
Let's go!
I'm excited about that.
Let's go.
My second one, man, I retire in 20 days from the military, so you already know what time.
Woo!
I'm ready to get out.
All right. Tell me what Habaragani.
Well, I'm on spring break this week, that's number one. And when I get back, I'm 3 weeks out from launching my campaign for city council to become one of the youngest city council members of Oak Park, Michigan.
Awesome song. All right, real quick, so anybody, if you can give me 1 minute, 30 seconds each, talk and turn to a neighbor and share with them like, hey neighbor, here's my Habaragani. I'm giving you, go. Talk amongst yourselves. Something good news. All right, here we go. Let's wrap this up. I go? Come on, somebody. I ain't even got to teach this audience. Sometimes when I'm in other, I'm going to try one more time though. I go. Amen. Almost there. We're almost there. I know, right? Usually, depending on the audience, we have to kind of break that down, but I think you all know, but y'all got caught up in your Habaragani, so continue the conversation. Hey, for those who are watching us online, again, for those on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, if you're watching it live or in the replay, thank you so very much for watching the HBCU Man Cave here, right here in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Profound Gentlemen CIA 2025 conference. It's been your boy, Anthony Brown, your uncle, your cousin, your best friend. Listen, until next time, remember, the HBCU Man Cave is a place to relate, relax, release. We want you to stay black, stay safe, and be strong, y'all.